Good morning, everybody. We're going to get started. We're on air. So I'd just like to do a call to order and attendance, and we have all of our board members here today, and we have Staff Sergeant representing Inspector Tate, who is away at training, I believe, in Ottawa?
He's in a conference in Ottawa.
In a conference in Ottawa, yeah. So approval of agenda and changes to the agenda. Does anyone have any items to add? Okay, I do have one item to add, and that is citizen complaints. Could I have a motion to approve the agenda? Member Veery, and second it by Member Vanden Rishi. All those in favor? And that is carried. At this time, are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Confirmation of the minutes from the previous meeting, 4.1 OPP Detachment Board minutes, May 21st, 2025. Are there any concerns arising from those minutes? Okay. Do I have to get a motion to adopt those? Yeah, okay. And can I have a motion to adopt those minutes as presented? Member Cruz and Member Vanden Rishi. At this point, number 5 on our agenda is presentations, which we have none today. Number 6 on the agenda is deputations, and again, none today. And number 7 is the consent agenda, and I don't believe we have anything on the consent agenda. And number 8 is reports deferred from the previous meeting, and we have none. And number 9, we're just flying through this agenda. This is what happens when you meet in the summer. Items for consideration, 9.1, operational statistics and highlights 2025, May and June. And I'll hand it over to you. Thank you.
So my name is Catherine Bracelin. I'm a Staff Sergeant Operation Manager in Norfolk County Detachment. Inspector Tate sends his regrets today. Oh, is this better? Is this better? Okay. Inspector Tate sends his regrets. My name is Catherine Bracelin, Operation Manager for Norfolk County. I will just jump right into a summary report of our statistics. So for violent crime events in Norfolk County, we saw an overall decrease of 23.4% for this period, and that is a year-to-date decrease of 26.6% when compared to 2024. And then property crimes, we saw an overall decrease of 31.6% for this period, and a year-to-date decrease of 20.4% compared to 2024. Drug crime. So we saw no overall increase for this period and a year-to-date increase of none compared to 2024. Other crime events in Norfolk County saw an overall decrease of 9.8% for this period and a year-to-date decrease of 4% when compared to 2024. And unfounded occurrences we saw an overall decrease of 91.7% for this period, and we believe that that's probably because everything is being classified properly when we're clearing those occurrences. Mental Health Act occurrences saw an overall increase of 14% for this period and a year-to-date increase of 3.6% compared to 2024. And then overall overdose occurrences saw an overall decrease of 50% for this period, and a decrease of 57.1% compared to 2024. Victim service referrals saw an overall decrease of 21.5% for this period, and a decrease of 13.7% when compared to 2024. In reviewing the victim service referrals for May and June, 299 were offered, with 147 being accepted. So that's an acceptance rate of 49.2%. Motor vehicle collisions, all motor vehicle collision types in Norfolk County saw an overall decrease of 20.3% for this period, and year-to-date is 20.1%. Property damage collisions, decrease of 19.9%. Non-fatal injury collision types saw an increase of 23%. However, that's a decrease of 6.3% when compared to last year. Fatal collision types saw an overall decrease and there was no decrease for this period, and a decrease, though, however, of 33.3% when compared to last year. And then patrol hours. So we've seen a steady increase with this, with our members going out into to our communities. So last year we had 1,688 patrol hours. This year to date, we have 3,023 patrol hours for our communities. An increase in motorcycle patrol. Last year we only had 2. This year we're getting that bike out a lot more, and we have 99.5 hours. Marine hours, they've doubled as well, from 342 to 735. ATV 13 this year is 10.5. We offered a bicycle course in May. We had several people. So last year we had 6.5 bicycle hours. To date, we have 69.5 in our community, and we're just halfway through the summer. So we're very proud of that, getting our members out into the community and out on those bikes. Foot patrol, 350 hours in 2024. 2025, we had 629. So very happy with that as well. So just want to touch on some highlights of the last couple of months, and we're very proud of these. So May 28th, there was Project Golden Takedown. So that originated through investigative excellence at our detachment. The information came to our detachment, and the project was launched in July of 2024 and expanded across multiple jurisdictions. And on May 28th of this year, we executed search warrants at 16 locations and in 8 vehicles. And that was across southwestern Ontario. Among other drug seized, specifically, we had 38 kilograms of suspected fentanyl. And that's across various jurisdictions, but we're happy to report that that information came to our officers in CSCU back in July, and that's how we move forward with that. And we'd like to invite to an upcoming meeting the detective inspector to give a presentation on that project. And I think that would be very good for you guys to see how that all unfolded. PD 13 in Port Dover, that was a big success. We just completed our debrief, and there was no issues. There was no fatalities reported. Traffic flow went well. All of we're already planning for the next events. Next year is going to be there's going to be 3 that are going to be off season, but it's going to be 2026 in August. That's going to be a big one. So, but there was no issues, and it was a big success for us. We've had our quarterly local motor vehicle reduction strategy, and that's something that we've implemented at detachment. And we had our second quarterly, that was June 16th to the 22nd, and we actually had, we had several dedicated officers to the event, but overall for those dates, we ended up having 113 offense notices issued, 10 Part 3 summons, and 30 warnings. So just over that short time period. And so we think that generally overall that contributes to our reduction in those collisions. And so we're very proud of that too. There's a strong correlation. We don't think it's a coincidence that our motor vehicle collisions are down. We've also had various community engagement events over the last couple of months. Very involved in our community. So June 5th, we did the torch run with the Special Olympics, and that went through our downtown core. The 17th, we had a Carolyn 100-year rededication event. And June 18th, we actually had Special Olympics support. One of the Special Olympians, she asked us if we would run with her. She actually extended the could she beat officers? Well, she did, but it was a good success, and there was a good turnout from the school in Port Dover that came out to support her. We also had June 20th, Greens at Ranton Community Day, and Inspector Tate was in the dunk tank. So that was a funny day. June 22nd, community engagement. We had the dragon boat races. We finished first last year, but this year we finished second, so we got some work to do there. And then July 6th, we also had the Farm Workers versus OPP soccer game. And so I came out there. Also at that time, we also set up a tent. You know, we're actively recruiting at these events, and we did the same at the Dragon Boat, just putting ourselves out there to the community and just being approachable to people that want to come. Our third initiative for the motor vehicle reduction strategy, that'll be in September, and we'll correlate that to back to school initiatives, making sure that those school buses and the safety of the children going back to school. So you can anticipate that going back to September. And I think that's all I have to, and today's camp day. So after this, I'm heading over to Tim Hortons to help out there. So subject to any questions or anything you might want to ask me, those are our statistics and operational findings. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Those are great numbers. So I'll put questions out. Member Vanden Rishi?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and through you. I've just got a couple questions that have been noted to myself from some citizens. We're looking at initiating a new program for license plates for traffic offenses and speeding. And it's come to my attention, and it was brought to me, that a lot of license plates have this covering on their license plate, like, you know how you have the square and then it's a plastic, and it deteriorates, and therefore you cannot read the license plates. Is there, when an officer makes a stop, is there a concerted effort to take a look at the plate and say, hey, this has got to be improved, or this has to be removed? Or because we've got an awful lot of license plates from a few years ago where the blue paint itself has come off, so you don't really recognize the numbers as well. Do you take a look at that as well? Or can there be a blitz on that or whatever?
Yeah, certainly that's an issue for us to identify, because we have those cameras that'll be the plate readers, and that's very troublesome for us when we can't read those plates. So if it is obscured with a plate cover, they're not allowed to have a plate cover, and those, we can educate, or if it's something that, we've seen, there's people that we've educated and they still don't take those off. We can issue a warning or we can charge, but certainly we need to read those license plates, go to the MTO, get a plate that can be read. So, yeah, when the officer is unable to read a plate, they can absolutely do a traffic stop, and from there it can lead to charges or warnings or education. But we absolutely incorporate that into, when we are doing those stops, we are looking at those things.
And one more. The other one that was brought up to me, and it was because they had a little incident. A lot of cars or trucks have hitches, the trailer hitches on the back of the vehicles. Some of them are small and they wouldn't, do much damage, but some are large. The question was, is that legal to have it on all the time when you're not towing, or do you have to remove that in between towing?
That I'm not aware of, but I can certainly go back and see and have that information for you when we come back. But I can't answer that. I don't know if it's illegal or not. I mean, certainly I've seen them and they're very large, but yeah. I don't know if that is a charge, but I can research that and get back to you for our next meeting. It's
sometimes when people parallel park and they're parking, some people drive a little close to the vehicle in front of them and thinking they're okay, but then all of a sudden their front has actually been indented by the some of them are large and quite a ways out, so right. Thank you.
Member Cruz.
Thank you, Chair. Just a couple comments, and through you, Chair. I'd be looking forward to the detective inspector coming before the board and giving us a presentation. If that can be arranged, that would be very interesting. And with respect to community engagement, I've noticed over the past few months several officers, some on their bikes, some walking downtown in my community, Port Dover, and also in Simcoe as well.
Great.
I've seen that a lot more than in the past. Great to see the officers out at the Torch Run and the Special Olympians. I'd love to see them playing the sports with the farm workers and all that kind of stuff. It's a big media thing. Great
That
for
was
community engagement.
well attended. That was a very large event.
And nice to see that Potahawk ran smoothly this year, thanks to
I forgot to mention Potahawk, yes.
and Camp Day to Day. It's great. Love to see it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? No. I would just like to add that all of those statistics are great numbers. It's good to hear the decreasing amount. And I as well, in my community, have seen officers on bike, and that's a welcome scene. Foot patrol has been a big thing that I've been advocating for a number of years. So I really like that, and I think it's a good community outreach for our officers and for the residents in our community. So now you don't have to go in a dunk tank or anything today, do you, for Camp Day? No? There you go. It wouldn't be so bad today. It's a little warm.
Oh,
so.
boy. No, thank you for sharing that. I'll take that back to our members. They'll be
Okay.
happy to hear that. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Next on the items for consideration is 9.2, Code of Conduct and Procedural Bylaw Information Memo, CS-25-107.
Good morning, and through you, Madam Chair. In order to remain in compliance with current legislation, Legislative Services staff have prepared both a procedural bylaw and a code of conduct bylaw before the board today. The procedural bylaw is to remain in compliance with the Community Safety and Policing Act, and the code of conduct bylaw is to remain in compliance with Ontario Regulation 408-23. Both of these bylaws have been circulated to all members of the board, and any comments made by any member of the board have been considered within the copies of these bylaws. And with that, I'm available for any questions regarding either of them.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Member Vanden Rishi?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, we went over those, and we said it's a type of a boilerplate system, and we just kind of tuned it to our needs, and I think it's a good bylaw, and I think it'll work well. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? No? Okay, thank you very much. Next on our agenda is correspondence arising from previous business, and we have none. Number 11, bylaws, none. Oh, sorry, yes, we do. My apology. I flipped the page before I didn't flip the page in time. Bylaw, 11.1, bylaw 2025-02 OPP, being a bylaw to establish and govern the code of conduct for the Norfolk County OPP Detachment Board members. And could I get, okay, Member Vanden Rishi and a seconder? Member Veery, and all those in favor? And that is carried. The next one is 11.2, bylaw 2025-03 OPP, being a bylaw to govern the proceedings of the Norfolk County OPP Detachment Board, the conduct of its members, and the calling of meetings. Could I have Member Cruz and a seconder? Member Vanden Rishi, all those in favor? And that is carried. Okay. And just before we get to adjournment, I will just add that we added the one item, the citizen complaints. I've had a couple calls. I don't usually do this, but usually individual calls you can kind of sort out and everything like that. But this was from members in our community in Delhi. And apparently what had happened was, and I don't expect you to maybe to answer this, but if you could get the information and come back to us in September with it. Apparently there was a rash of property crime in a certain area in Delhi, vehicles broken into and things like that. So the residents were calling the non-emergent number, as they would be expected to do. And when they kind of said what their issue was, the individual on the other end who answered the phone just simply told them to go through their insurance company, and that was it. They didn't take any information, no officers were dispatched, there was no gathering of statistics of this property crime, nothing like that. It was just simply, go through your insurance, thank you very much, and that was the end of the call. So I guess my concern would be, how do we get accurate numbers of property crime if information's not being taken? So apparently this was fairly rampant in one neighborhood in Delhi, and when they called in, no information was taken. So I would guess that those things aren't showing up on our statistics because no information's taken. The other point to remember is that you can't go through your insurance company if you don't have an incident report. So I just wanted to bring this to the attention. I know this isn't a frontline issue. This would be something that would have to be looked into. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, and then hopefully in September when we meet, we can have a more fulsome discussion about it.
Absolutely, Madam
Okay.
Chair, and I can speak to you after about dates and timeframes that we're
Okay.
kind of looking at, because that'll narrow it down for us to see what happened.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, it's 9:52. You sure no one has anything else to add to our agenda? Okay. With that, I guess we'll call for adjournment. Our next meeting will be in September. I think it will be obviously a much longer meeting. I've put into the action items that we have the officer come in and talk to us about that, can't think of the word I want.
Presentation.
That project,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, and with that, could I have a motion to adjourn? Member Veery, seconded by Member Cruz. All those in favor? And we are adjourned. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and go to camp day.